Welcome back, everybody, to the grand finals of the Alienware Awesome Cup 2. We are here. Thank you, Solo, for accompanying us earlier, and we have some great matches for you today. Our first match is going to be Nautorious Nauts taking on BarbieQ. We spoke a little bit about this match earlier. Nada, take us through the picks and bans.
Oh, yes. We're going straight into it, I see. Excellent. Well, we are looking at a Nautorious first pick and therefore a first ban, and that first ban is going to be Skoldir. So no Fudge Skoldir. So that throws off a lot of what BarbieQ does. However, the response ban will be Penny, and I have a feeling that is a player-specific ban, as it seems Nautorious has gotten hold of Space Admiral Laika. For those of you who don't know, an excellent Penny player, and I think that's where the Penny ban is coming from. Now, for the first pick, we're looking at a Scoop. Powerful character, well-rounded, heavy on burst and CC, spammy, hammer. You know, we love it, Oz.
The Speedometer build? Yes, I have a feeling it's going to come into play a little bit later.
Alright, well, the response picks will be Froggy G and Coco, and that's obviously powerful. Two very versatile nods. You have the heavy burst and the all-around good capabilities of Coco. So that's two very, very powerful picks. The response to that will be Swiggins and Nibs. So we're looking at sort of a snare, burn, kill comp. Very powerful, and works well against both Frog and Coco. And the response to that will be a Raylan pick at last for BarbieQ. So, to recap, a Scoop, Swiggins, Nips fighting Raylan, Coco, and Froggy G.
So now, Nada, before we get into this game, my question to you is, how important was this pick phase and ban phase? Banning out that Penny. It can't be good news.
No, it cannot, and it will not be good news. As I said, they were up against a very, very dangerous Penny, and denying that Penny will certainly help. But that is not to say that Space Admiral Laika will not play to their full capacity. Not at all. And I think banning Skoldir was really something that is going to hinder Fudge in his he has a very aggressive Skoldir that goes in and throws you and you don't know where you are, but you will hear a slight ring in your ear saying, "Thank you for flying with Skoldir Airlines," and then you die.
That being said, Nada, give us a countdown. Let's get into Nautorious Nauts versus BarbieQ.
You got it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright. And we are looking at the first pickups being base abilities on everyone plus boots for a Frog.
Now, these two teams, we've seen them compete before. How important do you think that this burst kind of... I don't want to say burst in a sense, but it is a burst for Nautorious Nauts.
Oh, well, let's say heavy DPS. The heavy DPS really comes down to a hammer that allows for the Swiggins hook, that then allows for the grill,
And we see Ash going in for that fire. Unfortunately, nothing come out of it. Makis going in for that snipe. Nothing out of that as well. Fudge is low on HP. He's going to be forced to retreat back a little bit with Makis now, as Hanky's in the top lane, awaiting his teammates to come back down as they pick up some health. A nice double hammer coming out from Betts, hitting both Makis and Hanky in that jumper.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And the snipe coming out, hitting Betts in the face, taking out about a fifth of his health. That's nothing on a Scoop, as he is the designated tank character.
Yes, the sponge. And I think that if Ray builds snipe damage, she'll end up doing a lot of void damage that will just be negated instantly. So seeing where Ray is going with this, I think is where I want to have my focus, because Ray against this comp is rather problematic. I mean, you have so many counters and you have so many things that try to kill you.
You do have that many counters, but Fudge is going to pick up Laika in the top lane, as he will be the first kill of the grand finals.
Oh, well. Well, you got to start somewhere. And that was with Fudge. Or Fudge did get it.
And it looks like they were baiting Ash into that fire, getting a lot of health taken out on his part. Ash and Fudge going to be retreating back, picking up some HP, and potentially buying some upgrades. The tactical piggy bank, Nada.
Coming out for well, both Nibs and Scoop with the range and the Eternal Flame, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is the Eternal Flame. The DOT upgrade for Nibs.
Oh. Ash is going to get right into it, but Makis is going to deny him with the snipe, and we're going to see Laika land the hook on Makis in the bottom lane and try to pick something up. Makis will be retreating back as we see Fudge, Henky versus Betts and Laika in the fray right now.
And Ray actually picking up that snipe damage, the pump rifle, so perhaps going for that hefty burst and just combo up with Frog and, you know, right-click till victory.
And right-click they shall do.
Except for Ray, that's sort of like middle mouse, left click.
Middle mouse, left click. It looks like Fudge is going to be in some trouble, but Ash teleporting past Fudge is not going to be able to pick up the DOT kill with her fire and will allow her to escape. As Henky and Makis both hit with that hammer. Ash going in for the flames once more. Henky waiting to set something up for his team. As we can see BarbieQ waiting by that bouncer, waiting to lip jump into that midsection and get there very quickly and try to set some kills up.
You know, I'm kind of I'm missing Raylan up on top lane, specifically up on the glass plate above the two bouncers. Because that way she can...
And excuse me, Makis is going to get into it right now, but unfortunately for Nautorious Nauts, that anchor broke a little bit prematurely, allowing her safety.
Oh yes, the anchor break. That we probably will see HP on anchor.
And we're seeing Hammer Pants come out on the Frog.
Well, that is to be expected from the Frogs.
Oh, and we're seeing that hammer going down on Makis into that bottom, and a nice hammer, if you will, and Laika sniping Makis down. Henky looking to try and get the splash dash, but the hammer again coming from Betts, launching them off of the bouncer down, is dealing a lot of residual damage.
Oh yeah. Well, the mid. Oh, that's.
And we're gonna see Henky get into it again with the hook. But it breaking again prematurely. Ash using the fire, not able to pick anything up with it. And it seems that Nautorious Nauts has retaken control of mid.
Well, they do have a great comp for holding mid, and they have an even better comp for denying people or denying a flush out of mid. But that's where BarbieQ sort of responds back and has that long-range poke that they can deal with. But it's dangerous because especially Ray is really, really out on... No, she's really exposed when she's sniping, and when she's building snipe, we know that's what she's going to be doing.
And we're seeing Laika go in as well as Ash going in. Henky being able to dash away. The ball hitting Betts in the process from Fudge. Fudge is pretty weak though. He's not going to be able to stay into that fight for long, and Ash will farm the bottom.
Oh yeah, bottom farming, super important. Get that gains up. Oh, the negate from Frog.
And a nice dash away will secure his safety.
You saw that though, that was like reaction sharps.
And we're gonna see Fudge getting into it as he's going to be collapsed on by that, which is Nautorious Nauts, and Laika will pick up Fudge in the process. Betts is not gonna be able to fight this out as Ash is coming in to try and secure safety. Admiral Laika is going in for the hook, but he will be teleporting out. Henky looking to finish something up, and nothing is available for him, so he will be back into that mid lane with Makis. Ash, the fire not long enough. I think an upgrade that will be able to help her out would be Prosthetic Dragon Wing.
Oh, range, yes. That would be, but you could also opt for the route that is the percentage damage increase when Max Frenzy is available, as well as the damage per tick. So just go for full damage with that snare you have. Swiggin slants that, and well, perhaps gets the reduced length on chain. There's not much people can do. And
Henky's in some trouble as Raylan Make is trying to secure safety with the snipe. Henky will be able to get out with 1 HP though.
That is
Fudge again once more into the fray. Will be able to pick up some health on his way out and go back to clearing this mid.
Ooh, watch out, Ray.
We see the snipe coming out with the anchor. Makis will be forced to retreat back. A nice ball hitting Betts and Laika back into the bouncer, forcing Laika to retreat back. And I believe that's going to be range coming out on Raylan.
Look at Betts real quick. Oh, wow.
He is going to be in a bad situation as Fudge will be able to pick up Betts in midair.
That was a nice use of Blaze Trail there to just get that last damage pick in. That could potentially be an escape, because we all know what Scoop does when he binds up. He heals, and that leaves you way better off here than without HP.
And it looks like Makis is going to get picked up in front of Nautorious Nauts' top turret as he will get roasted.
That was a great collapse. Waiting for the nibs to drop down, not hooking in a second before it's needed.
And if we see Leica, he's being very, very aggressive with his plays. He's pushing into that jumper. Then again, he can do that once BarbieQ has one member down. He can play his aggressive Swiggins and really not have to worry about being killed because of a 2v3 situation with the entirety of Nautorious Nauts with him. But he does have to worry about being killed now, as Leica is going to go down to Hanky.
What a wombo combo. Just 1, 2, 3. Each member of their team got their primary burst off.
We're going to see Makis in that top lane once more. Retreating back to grab some health as Fudge is battling it out with Bets. Hanky with him as well. Fudge is not doing so hot. He's less than half health. Then again, he was fighting a Scoop, so he was able to escape. And the farm goes to Hanky in the bottom lane. Ash is going to avoid the snipe nimbly by teleporting away from Makis. And we see Leica trying to pick something up with the hook, unable to make anything of it. And Hanky looks like he may be able to set something up for his team if he's able to land that splash dash, get that mini stun going, and really focus out one character.
All right. Well, Ray now has this, what I would like to call the Sirona Essentials, being range and damage on snipe.
And as we see that ball narrowly miss, we're going to observe Leica and Bets into this mid lane while Ash is picking up some health. Fudge was the only member of BarbieQ to be up in that top lane. They could have easily collapsed on him, but opted not to, and really just hold control of mid and continue their farm.
Well, mid, as we know, it's a farm. You just get in there, you get all the solar.
And it looks like Fudge is going to be into the fray once more, but that anchor breaking again from BarbieQ, collapsing on it. Very smart plays on their part, being able to focus out the anchor as opposed to any knots.
And once again, Raylan's snipe just comes out.
And Ash picking up a nice prediction with the fire. Will pick up a double kill, hunting down Hanky and Fudge. And that will allow a huge push to come out in favor of Nautorious Nauts.
Yeah, Ray is not built for defending, not with that build she's rolling with. It is Rift that does Ray well when defending and AA, and she has nothing of that. She's basically forced to try to get some pokes in, but that is dangerous work, and if you get hooked by Swiggins, that is not something you want.
And that bottom turret was shaved off by a few bars from Ash and Bets. Leica retreating back to pick up some HP, and I really want to see some anchor HP come out on Leica.
Well, yes, it will help with the Nips comp.
Bets maybe getting collapsed on, and a nice snipe from Makis will pick up Bets in the process, and Hanky getting that dash in just dealt enough damage for the snipe to be able to pick him up.
That is what the Sirona Essentials are for. You get those long-range snipe on those open fields. That is Sirona.
And Fudge may be in some deep trouble as Ash is going to pick up Fudge from the anchor thanks to Leica. The assist going to Leica, kill going to Ash.
Oh, yes. We're looking at 5-5 total kills here, about 11 minutes in.
As we see both of these teams being pretty even so far. You know, as you said before, 5-5 apiece. And we're just into the mid-game at this point.
Yeah, and really...
And a nice anchor coming out as Hanky is sniped off the bouncer.
Well, Leica does not give a darn about his Swedish brothers. He is not going to let the shared nationality come into play of just hooking that frog, which is, by the way, a very powerful counter.
And we're going to see them get into it once more as Ash is going to pick up Makis again. And Fudge and Hanky will be forced to defend against Nautorious Nauts once more. Leica using that anchor, dealing some residual damage to Hanky in the bottom lane, making sure he's going to be unable to set anything up. Bets going in for the hammer, unable to land it on Hanky. Hanky being very nimble, very quick, being the frog that he is. And Ash coming in with a fire just a second too late, will be unable to pick up a kill on Hanky. Excellent defending by BarbieQ at this point.
That's actually something that's worth noting, because they do not have a very defensive comp. They really rely on having that aggression up, and if they don't, they're in a lot of trouble.
And we're going to see the fire come out once again, but that rift is going to prevent Ash from going anywhere. A lot of damage being dealt on the ball, almost picking him up in the process. He's going to get away with 1 bar of HP, as Fudge now is going to get into it with bets, and a snipe coming out from Makis is going to force him out. Makis dealing some damage to Laika, Laika using his anchor for his escape, and here we see Hanky coming in to try and set something up once more. That's the point where Hanky should have been in mid and observing, but Fudge is going to be into it in the mid lane. A nice snipe coming out from Makis, pushing Bets back behind that bottom turret, and he will be forced to retreat back as Laika is going to be defending with Ash. Fudge going in, getting hit with that anchor, but able to take it out very quickly with 1 ball.
And that is yet another reason to get the HP on anchor, especially when you're doing this Nibs lockdown combo.
And we're going to observe Fudge and Hanky along with Makis into that mid. Ash is going to use the fire to thwart them off and does so. Hanky taking a lot of damage in the process, will be forced to go back, but Makis is in some deep trouble as he is going to be taken out by Bets. The anchor going in again on Fudge. Fudge being able to escape, pick up some HP up top, and proceed back to defending.
I think the tides have turned slightly. I think Nautorious is actually on top of them right now.
Nautorious has taken a lead as far as kills go. The turrets are about half for BarbieQ compared to 1 turret that is half for Nautorious Nauts.
It's again, it comes down to what the comp does and allows for, and I really think that because they have such an aggressive comp, their defensive capabilities are, well, they are close to down the drain. It is really, really hard
close
to
to
defend.
Down the drain, but we see the attack abilities coming out on Nautorious Nauts in that engage.
And we do. And unless Ray gets some rift, they don't really have a lot of defensive capabilities going on other than the Coco Ball poke, the snipe poke, and the occasional frog dash.
The occasional frog dash, but that frog dash can set up for some mean kills.
It can, but it cannot clear droids as efficient as, for instance, a rift or blaze damage. Speaking of, good Coco.
Ash is going to clean up that bottom as we see Fudge coming in from the top. Laika looking to set something up. He will be able to get a snipe with his anchor on Hanky. Hanky going to be forced to retreat back to pick up some health. Bets is going to look to set something up with his hammer. Perhaps he is definitely building for a speedometer.
Oh yes, with the Spoonman and everything.
Spoonman and everything, he is ready to go. Ash going in for the flames. A lot of damage being dealt to Ash. Makis not able to hit the snipe as Ash will be able to teleport back, pick up some health, and Fudge Hanky will be forced to defend in a 2v2, and we see the Starstorm statue coming out for Nibs.
More damage. You can never go wrong with more damage.
10% is 10%, and 10% could be the difference between a kill.
I think 10% is what is going to take the BarbieQ team from medium to well done.
I see what you did there. Bad fire jokes. We like those. But a snipe coming out, and Ash is going to pick up Fudge. Make is not able to land the snipe kill, and that will be a 2v3 situation as we see the snipe landing on Bets, but Laika able to escape. Ash using the defensive fire, securing safety for both of his teammates. And Makis will be back to defending the top lane, and Hanky on bottom lane. Hanky will be teleporting back as Coco will now be on map.
Oh man. It pains me to see their turrets slowly erode away, but we know what's happening here. They can just not keep up with it.
And the snipe coming out, not able to hit anything, but Laika is going to pick up Fudge in the process, and Makis and Hanky will be forced to defend as Ash steals this top creeps. It's going to be very difficult for Hanky to get any HP. He will retreat back, get some health at base, but that will allow a push for Nautorious Nauts.
Oh.
Laika in the bottom lane, sniping out Makis with the anchor. Makis looking to land the snipe, and he will unfortunately miss all three members of Nautorious Nauts, looking to potentially get a double or triple snipe.
It's all about, you know, managing your snipes, because having a triple snipe... Oh, that's a turret.
Yep, and that is going to be the first turret down in favor of Nautorious Nauts.
No, the first final turret. Well, you know. Oh, Makus.
As Laika's going in on Makus. Makus will be able to survive, but just by the hair on her chinny chin chin. And that second turret comes down, and that will be the second turret down in favor, and Hanky will go down in the process. Fudge is going to have to battle it out with all three members of Nautorious Nauts. Try to escape, try to juke it out, but the snipe from Laika is going to pick up Fudge in the process off the jumper.
Oh. I was ready to go to Happening Con 5, but, you know, so close.
And Ash going for the no-clip fire will be able to do some no-clip fire damage as we see them proceed into this last turret area.
And you see the lack of defensive capabilities here. Raid does have one stage of attack speed of Rift, but it is is nowhere enough of what is needed to keep the Nautorious Nauts away.
Bet's trying to land those long distance hammers. Jumping back at the right before he throws his hammer is going to increase the range on the hammer. Not by much, but it will due to momentum. All three members of Nautorious Nauts preparing their assault. Fudge getting hit with a huge hammer. Laika trying to pop in there. Not able to land a hook on anybody. Ash looking to set something up and pick it up, actually.
But you see the whole connecting here, that you hit the hammer, Swiggins has a clear shot, and Nibs just goes in. That is the order of attack, that is the chain of command that goes on in the Nautorious comp, and is working.
Another hammer going in. Fudge is going to be taking a lot of damage. Ash not there to pick anything up. Ash is looking to pick something up now, though. Hanky may be going down to DOT, and he survives with a head. No, he does not. He is going to get picked up by Hanky. That DOT being very powerful, and he has actually sacrificed a lot. That DOT being a very good pick for Ash, because now know that the Frog won't be able to pick anything, any regen up now that he's piggy.
Nope. And see, looking at the current Solar, Nibs is banking 700 Solar. This is looking pretty grim for BarbieQ.
The teleport out right in front of the turret, dealing a lot of damage to Fudge in the process, forcing him back. But this is the Sirona that we know. This is going to be very difficult to kind of take out that last turret unless they can really push in, which it seems that they're doing. They're dealing a lot of damage across the board. Hanky's going to go down to Bets in the process. That turret is 2 bars. Fudge will be forced to go back and pick up some HP, as Makus will be the only member of BBQ on map defending against their assault.
Yeah, and in just 10 minutes, Nautorious took an even game to an 8-kill lead.
An 8-kill lead and a 3-turret advantage now, as they're going to proceed and try and do some damage on the core. Magus is going to get picked up in the process, and Fudge is going to be forced to defend against a 3v1 situation on the core. Ash, Betts, and Laika absolutely destroying that core. It's at half already. Fudge is going to be forced to defend. Hanky on map as well. He is not going to be able to do it, as that is going to be the conclusion. Oh, wait, he may be able to pick up a kill, but he doesn't, as that is the conclusion to our first game of the day.
Damn.
Nada, what could have gone differently? Let's talk builds here.
Oh, whoa. Well, I think to start off, I really have little to say about Nibs. I think Nibs did what the comp allowed Nibs to do, so Nibs' build was good. I like what Scoop was doing. Maybe getting full damage before cooldown could have worked out, but, you know, they won, it worked. I won't pick too much. I think the most interesting thing is to look at what BarbieQ did. And Coco went for a hands-on AA build. I think that's very dangerous, considering what comp they're actually fighting. It's a very meta pick, and it is 9 out of 10 times the right thing to get first. But fighting a comp that basically wants you in their face, AA is very dangerous, and you don't usually want to opt for it in situations like that. So maybe getting Blaze Ball or perhaps more ball damage could have worked out better for Coco. As for Raylan, I think what should have happened is that Macia should have seen that they were on the back foot. They needed to get some defensive capabilities going, get some rift damage in here. And as for Hanky, I think he did well with the Frog. He did the right picks, as I can tell. Maybe Regen could have served differently, and the Frog Piggy wasn't really necessary. But other than that, I don't really think I have any comments more, and we'll have to see what happens in Game 2.
That's right. And excellent gameplay from both teams. Nautorious Nauts taking game 1. We will be looking forward to game 2 of Nautorious Nauts taking on BarbieQ. We'll be right back.